WYSL.
Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we'll feature business and community leaders sharing their stories, initiatives, concerns, and passions. Learn practical information regarding community resources and opportunities. Now, the host of Business Voice, Greece Regional Chamber President and CEO, Sarah Lentini.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Lentini, and you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. We have a fantastic show starting with a really wonderful segment that we're kicking the show off with this session, and that is we've got FranNet here. We've got John Adams, who is the lead person for FranNet of Western and Central New York, Angela LaVecchia, and then they're being joined by Heather Connolly and Dave Williams, who represent just one example of FranNet's power and impact in the franchise world. They've got an exciting new franchise that they're kicking off. So let's start with you, John. You are leading, this wonderful organization that I think more and more people should know about. Obviously, many do, but FranNet's like a big national or international company, correct? But then you've got a real focus on Western and Central New York, obviously. Tell us about that.
Yeah, FranNet is an international company, like you said. It is a franchise. So I am a franchisee of FranNet, and my territory is Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Basically everything west of Herkimer in New York State. I have 3 associates on my team. Angela is covering Rochester. I have an associate in Syracuse and a brand new associate in Buffalo who's just coming on board. So they help with the detailed work with clients, and I'm trying to do a little more being a manager than being a consultant. Right. It's a sort of a different role that you have to, kind of push yourself to be in as well. If you're used to doing a lot of hands-on stuff, but it's you're clearly building a wonderful team. I know Angela from way back. She's terrific. Good for you for bringing her onto your team. And I remember being so surprised and impressed when I first got to know you, which is now several years ago. I didn't realize there was such a thing as a FranNet, and that there were resources available for people like myself, people of all sorts of backgrounds and experience levels and types of expertise to potentially look at starting a franchise and get assistance sort of every step of the way. And I think you do that for very little money or for free, don't you? We do it for free. And honestly, that's the first question we get most of the time when we start talking to people. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, you really do that? You really do that for free? Those are the kinds of questions we get. And yes, we do it for free. We're paid a commission by the franchisor at the end of the process when our client buys a business. So our services are completely free to our clients. They may spend a little money along the way in the investigation with a CPA or an attorney, but they don't pay us anything. That's pretty amazing. That's really fantastic. So if I'm at the very beginning I literally am just curious. Boy, I never thought about starting a franchise. Maybe I thought about starting a business, but it never occurred to me that there were franchise opportunities. Could I be as early in as early in the process as that it's just sort of an exploratory question? Can I pick up the phone and call you? Absolutely. That's the first step in our process. We spend 45 minutes or so getting to know each other a little bit on the phone. Next step is I would send you a link to our personal franchise assessment. It's a psychometric profiling tool, kind of like a Myers-Briggs, but it's tailored directly to the franchise world. So we explore different angles of personality. After we have that, we'll sit down for another half hour or 45 minutes, and we'll go over it with the client, make sure we understand what's there, fill in any missing pieces. And then we do, what is the most important part of our process, which is to match, where we match clients with franchises that are a good fit for them. And we take literally hundreds of factors into account. It's a pretty subjective process, and over the years you get better at it. And the goal is to narrow it down to 5 or 6 franchises that are a good fit, and then we go back and meet with the client again We narrow it down to 2 or 3 that they want to investigate more fully. And we turn them over to the franchisor and have the franchisor take them through the sales process. And we stay on to coach them through that process to make sure they're understanding what they're doing, that they're getting the right professional help at the right time in the process, and just to answer general questions.
That's great. That's really amazing. And you talked about having to narrow it down to, say, 5 or 6, opportunities to really look at in some serious depth. But, that begs the question, how big is the universe? How many franchise opportunities can people connect with through you guys?
Well, the universe in the U.S. is 3,500 franchise companies.
Wow.
You could go online and you could look at all of them, drive yourself a little nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you could work with us. We have pre-screened 250 franchises.
Wow.
That we think are the best fits for the people we're trying to attract. We're not looking for the person who wants to invest, $200 million and open 10 hotels. We're not looking for that person. We're looking for somebody that wants to invest, $75,000, $100,000, $200,000 to start a business that they can manage and will enjoy managing and owning.
And that's exactly, you must have read my mind. That was the next question that I had. How much money do you have to have, or do you have to be able to kind of summon up, borrow perhaps is the question, in order to even get into the franchise world? So when you say you're looking for someone who's got, say, $75,000 or so, $100,000, $200,000 to invest, do they have to have all that money like saved, or could they, how do people normally go about that? Is there a borrowing process, and can you help folks with that too?
We absolutely can point people to lending resources. There's a lot of different possibilities. A lot of people fund it with a home equity loan.
Oh, really?
As one source.
Cool.
Very common. There's asset-based borrowing that they can do through their bank. Probably the most common is the Small Business Administration loans, which you get through your bank. Again, a lot of our loans qualify for the Express program, which is borrowing up to $350,000. So those move very quickly with a minimum of paperwork. If you're going to invest more, there's more paperwork. There are more loan programs, but there's more paperwork.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
You do get these from the bank. The SBA relationship is between the bank and the SBA, not with you personally. Mm-hmm. Another tool that a lot of people use is called Rollover for Business Startup. And that's a process whereby you can take money from a 401k or an IRA. A 401k would have to be with a previous employer. It couldn't be with a current employer. And roll that money over into a retirement plan in the business. And then your retirement plan owns your business, owns all the stock of the business.
Cool. Interesting.
And that's a way to get at retirement money with no penalty and no tax consequences.
Oh, I bet that's very attractive to folks as well. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's some overhead with it. There's a little bit of cost to do it, but you don't have to worry about loan payments or anything like that while you're getting the business going.
Right. And it allows you to tap some assets that you have that you wouldn't normally be able to tap, or maybe wouldn't even have thought about to tap. So, and what's good about working with the banks, obviously you guys are providing, the biggest assist. You're really helping people from soup to nuts to get into a franchise opportunity if that's what they would like. What a wonderful, just an incredibly wonderful service. And that must make people feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable knowing there was somebody guiding me the way that you are. But then in addition, if you're working with those banks, those U.S. Small Business Administration, SBA lenders, there's a lot of due diligence that the bank does as well, correct, to help make sure that there's a sound business plan in place. So you're getting kind of double safety nets, if you will, of people making sure that the plan is good and sound, and all the different sorts of considerations have been thought about. So I think that's fantastic. And we're the Greece Regional Chamber is a big fan of the U.S. Small Business Administration. We do a monthly seminar with Virginia Smith, who is the Rochester branch manager for the SBA. SBA. I know you guys have been participating in that as well, because they have all kinds of resources that I think business doesn't always realize is available. But you know, when it comes to franchising, I mean, you guys are it. And you've got so many wonderful opportunities. I have poked around on your website and seen that the opportunities are very diverse, and some potentially might even be less expensive than the numbers that you've thrown out here today, at least as a beginning volley of a number. So, it's one of those things where I think we all think franchise, and we think, a big fast food restaurant as an example, and we think, well, that's untouchable. But you've got many more opportunities. 3,500, you said, right, in the U.S. alone. And
3,500 in the U.S. We work with 250 that we pre-screened.
250 that you're really focused in on. Yep. And that's already just a huge, big, diverse, exciting number. So I know Angela has joined you. You said, I know it's now probably been a couple of years. To me, it seems like yesterday. But Angela is one of the team members that you have was working in Rochester. Is that what you had said to us?
Yeah, it took me 5 years to talk her into it, but she's been with me for, I think, a year and a half now. That's great. Angela, how are you enjoying the work?
I'm really having a blast. My background is independent, being an independent contractor, and I really love the franchise industry. In fact, I wish I had found it about 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
John is fabulous to work with. The team that he's put together is really going to be very, very formidable. And, the process is long. It's not like you're spending $100 to think about going to dinner with 4 people. It takes a while. And the due diligence is very important. And it's a life-changing opportunity.
Yep.
So you have to wrap your head around, are you interested in having your own business, and are you also interested in following a model? Because if you want to start your own gig, well, then, you're not a candidate really for franchising, because you want to do your own gig. But if you want to follow a model and have the marketing set up and the computer background all set up and all of the processes in order, and have a team with which to work, and have training and know-how and a skill set behind you, it's really, really fabulous.
Yeah.
It's really fabulous.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It's my hope that there are some people listening here today that, become aware of you and get over any reluctance to picking up the phone and reaching out to both of you. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. And we are talking here today with John Adams, who is market president and senior franchise consultant for FranNet of Western and Central New York, and Angela LaVecchia, who is part of his team and focuses on the Rochester market, along with a couple of terrific new franchise business owners, local business owners that we're going to be hearing from in just a minute, Heather Connelly and Dave Williams of Fetch PetCare Rochester. So, Angela, as you you reach out to folks and get them involved in the business here in the Rochester community. I know that you're moving around a lot, but is there one, especially right now with, what's going on with, all of us working a little bit differently because of the COVID-19 pandemic, is there one really good way to reach you consistently? And John, how do people reach you? Because you're covering a huge geography and a lot of space as well.
Internet. I'm LaVecchia at FranNet, my name, LinkedIn, through I don't know, John and I were kind of all over.
All over,
yeah.
All over.
So if somebody says franchise, everybody's ears perk up and they think of John or they think of me.
Right.
But again, it's very easy because we're aligned with the Greece Chamber.
Yep.
If someone's thinking about a franchise, all they have to do is reach out to you or go to the directory.
Yep. Let's give them some web addresses, Angela. So you can reach FranNet of Western and Central New York is a member of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber has a business directory, a member directory, which you can find right up front on the homepage on our website, and our website is greecechamber.org, O-R-G, greecechamber.org. And then if you want to reach, very directly to John and to Angela, their web address is franchiseupstateny.com. Is that correct, guys?
Yep, that one still works. We're going to deactivate it, but it still works.
It still works. And then I'm going to pick on you, John. First of all, you're the market president. You're the lead here, but also you have the easier last name, right? Because LaVecchia is probably going to throw some people, but John Adams, everybody knows how to spell that, right? So John's email is jadams@frannet.com, jadams@frannet.com, frannet.com, 2 N's. And I don't want to give out your cell phone numbers, but I just want people to feel that they can find you easily and reach out. And as we said, can start a conversation really from the very beginning with you guys, and that it will not cost them any money. They may have some costs along the way, but to talk to you and to get your guidance and advice is not going to cost them money. So you've got an exciting story to tell. You've many exciting stories to tell, because you guys are always getting people, into these life-changing franchise situations. But we have joining us in studio today, Heather Connelly and Dave Williams. John, would you like to introduce them, because you really brought them to the, into the franchise world? They are one of your success stories.
And they found me through their financial advisor, who recommended that they talk to me.
Nice.
So that's the kind of relationships we like to build on. Heather is based here in Rochester, and Dave is based in Atlanta. They are brother and sister, and they're working together on this business. So Heather will be the local face of the business, and Dave is a little more behind the scenes, providing management support. He is at this point participating in networking groups in Rochester, because everything is on Zoom. We're actively working to get them networking in the community, get them known in the community.
Yep.
And
they're new members of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much, all of you. Yep. And Heather and Dave, welcome. It's so nice to have you on the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, definitely happy to be here.
So tell us about your experience working with FranNet and with John. I don't know if you worked with both John and Angela, but I know you worked with John. So tell us a little bit about that, would you?
Sure, definitely. Yes, I was speaking with my brother, and I actually both share the same financial advisor, and I just happened to have a call with him. It was about mid-year last year. I was just talking a little bit with him with regards to my finances and just kind of my future goals. And he mentioned John Adams, and my brother he was working with a gentleman down in Atlanta looking at different franchises. And I didn't realize, actually at that time we did realize, because I was actually talking to him as well. But so he'd already kind of started exploring, but John was up here, and I made an initial call to John, and he made a very good and powerful point, is that he is very familiar with these markets here in New York. And my brother and I had talked about opening a business to where I would be operating at here in New York. So that really kind of just sold me that it was true. He knows this market. He knows this area. And so it kind of went from there. We started exploring different, getting to know each other and kind of exploring different ideas. And I brought my brother along and said, hey, Dave, let's talk with John and see what he can do for us with pursuing and exploring different franchise opportunities. And well, the rest is kind of history. So
wow.
We had an amazing relationship there.
Yeah, I bet. And John and Angela, but John is a great guy, very knowledgeable, all kinds of amazing business experience that he brings to this role, which he's now been in for a while. So I can imagine that that you were feeling like you really ended up getting a tremendous amount of expertise, and that you couldn't possibly have envisioned, was going to be coming your way. Has it changed your life? being a franchise owner, or is it too early to tell?
Definitely. I'll answer for myself, and I know my brother can answer for himself. I mean, it definitely has. I mean, it's really kind of changed perspectives in life, and really kind of just prioritized the path that we're taking together, and the path that I'm taking personally. Becoming a business owner really does, it changed your perspective on life in general, and just how you interact and how you build those relationships around you. And it's there's a lot of emotions that go along with it, but it's an amazing experience.
I bet. Yeah, I bet you feel, sort of proud and independent and, courageous, just as a beginning grouping of emotions. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. And we are talking with John Adams, who is Market President and Senior Franchise Consultant for FranNet, along with Angela LaVecchia, who is a part of his team focused on Rochester, and very excited to be talking with one of their newly launched franchise owners and franchises, Heather Connelly and Dave Williams of Fetch PetCare Rochester. And I love the name Fetch. So Heather and Dave, tell us about Fetch. Tell us about the business.
I'll speak up here. The Fetch is a pet care business. It's focused on dog walks, in-home pet sitting, whether it's dogs, cats, other animals, pet taxi, but it's a very unique business based on building a trust with the client. Mm-hmm. So that they're comfortable with the well-being of their animals in their pet sitters' hands. One of the unique things about Fetch that we really liked about it was the fact that we try to match up with a pet sitter and then keep that relationship with the single pet sitter all the time.
That's great. So you're providing pet sitting services. Do you also provide pet transportation services? Didn't you have a couple of things on the list that you'll offer for pet mm-hmm. owners?
Yes. So we have, I mean, like with what David was saying, that, we do have those pet. It's all encompassing. I mean, there's quite a few different services that we're able to provide. I mean, there's overnight stay as well. Once there's that relationship, and touching upon again what David mentioned, there's that single sitter that the client gets to trust and comfortable with. I mean, that the pet itself will trust, because it's the same person coming to them to take care of them. So, I mean, there are those overnight services to where the sitter can go to the client's home and can stay with the pet. So when the client is going away for vacation or a business trip or any kind of extended stay, or even just one night, that pet doesn't have to leave their own environment. They're staying in their own environment, and they have somebody that they trust coming to take care of them.
That's so important.
The pet taxiing service as well, absolutely. We can definitely taxi your pets to whatever appointments they have.
That's fantastic. I would think that you're going to be extremely popular and very successful. And I know that there are lots of pet owners, myself included, who worry tremendously about leaving one of their babies in a strange place, and the fact that you've got a nice, consistent, I'm sure well vetted person or persons who come and take care of the pet right at your home is fantastic. So it's got to be interesting working together. If your brother and sister, have you ever worked on a venture before?
This is the first time, and I'm really kind of excited about it from two standpoints. Mm-hmm. Heather already pointed out that, about being a business owner, and I too was kind of looking for, after a layoff about 18 months ago, kind of that itch in the back of my head of being a business owner and bringing my customer service skills to something that I believe in. And so we kind of met halfway on this, and it really seems exciting to have something that we can work together on. And the second kind of area that I'm really kind of excited about is, I've been a long time Rochester resident. And now that I'm living in Atlanta, it gives me an opportunity to kind of get involved in the Rochester community all over again. So it's very exciting.
That is great. In fact, you guys both attended, along with John and Angela, you attended one of our networking sessions recently, and it was great. I mean, who would know that you were in Atlanta and not in Rochester? Because if there's an advantage to this kind of forced Zoom technology kind of networking world, it's that we can actually reach out to people that are further and further away, and and bring them into our orbit, and that's really, really nice. So, and you guys are it's great that you're reconnecting with Rochester. So, if people are interested in your services, Heather, how do they get in touch with you?
Our website is just fetchpetcare.com/Rochester. And Dave, please correct me. I know we are still learning these. So I do believe, is that correct?
That's correct. And as far as I know, the new site should be up as of February 22nd.
Wow. Congratulations. That's great.
Or they can call a local number, 585-504-4341.
So, and the other way is always to go to the Chamber website, because Fetch is a new member of the Greece Regional Chamber. So greecechamber.org, business directory, member directory, right on the homepage, right on the top on the navigation bar. You can search by alpha order, by type of business. So all you have to remember is Fetch, and you should be able to find, Fetch and Heather and Dave with no problem, and of course also to find FranNet of Western and Central New York, and John Adams and Angela LaVecchia. We're so excited to get a little bit more of a taste of what you do, John and Angela. FranNet of Western and Central New York is a longtime member of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I've been so impressed with the range, the depth, the importance of the services that you provide to people that are contemplating starting their own business. And this is such a neat way to do just that. And then of course, we're very excited about getting to meet you, Heather, and Dave, and to learn a little bit about Fetch PetCare Rochester. So I'm delighted that you were able to join us here today. And we hope that you're going to come back and tell us how you're progressing with Fetch, Heather and Dave. And, of course, we want you back, John Adams and Angela LaVecchia of FranNet of Western and Central New York, so that we can continue to spread the word about the good work that you do. That is such a wonderful service to business owners that you're offering for free. All right, don't go away. We're going to be right back with my next guest.
You're listening to the voice of liberty. AM 1040 Avon, Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, FM 95.5 Spencerport, and WYSL1040.com everywhere.
Right now, we are all faced with a challenge both personally and professionally. You might be displaced from your current employment and thinking about what you could do differently for a living in the changing economy. Either way, you can find yourself with a little more time on your hands to think about these things. That's where John Adams of FranNet can help. John is a local senior franchise consultant for FranNet. He can help you navigate the many local franchise opportunities that exist right here in upstate New York. Go to FranNet.com, that's FranNet.com with 2 N's, and take the free readiness assessment that helps determine the best franchise opportunities for you. The COVID-19 health crisis has created uncertainty in the economy, but many have predicted a roaring comeback when we get the medical aspect under control. Now is a great time to do your research and have John help you find a business opportunity that will help you prosper in the future. Call John Adams at 585-739-6625 or go to FranNet.com. That's FranNet.com with 2 N's.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
More than 20,000 watts of truth. WYSL AM 1040, FM 92.1 and 95.5 West.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. I'm delighted to welcome my next guest, Sarah Reimer of Family First Federal Credit Union. Sarah is a branding and PR specialist and is very involved with not just the Chamber, but with the Greece Chamber Charitable Foundation's recent efforts to support nursing education through the Foundation's Daniel E. Richardson Memorial Fund. All of that is quite the mouthful, isn't it? But importantly, we're really excited that Sarah and Family First Federal Credit Union are participating with us on this charitable cause. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, thank you for having me on today.
You're very welcome. So tell us, first of all, just tell us a little bit about Family First Federal Credit Union, would you? You're kind of all over the county, right?
Yeah, so Family First, we've been around for a little over 50 years. Mostly we have served, Monroe County and parts of Wayne County, and we actually recently expanded our field of membership out to Livingston County, Genesee, and Orleans, too.
Well, that's great. Congratulations. I didn't realize that you were growing and expanding the way you are. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. How long have you been with Family First?
So I've been with Family First almost 3 years now. I actually joined the marketing team in August, and previously I was working in the front office as a financial service representative in the Penfield branch.
Oh, terrific. Well, that's great because it probably gives you some great experience to use as you're looking to market the business, that you also understand some parts of the business in a very hands-on way, correct?
Exactly, yeah. It was a really nice opportunity to be able to work directly with our membership and, see where our members are really coming from and, what their experiences are and just to be a part of their lives.
That's terrific. And Family First has sort of a corporate headquarters, correct? Is it in Penfield?
It is, yeah. Our headquarters, I guess, is the Penfield branch. That was our first branch that we opened, and we have 4 smaller branches kind of around the county.
Right, and I know you've got one in Greece because the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce was very involved. I think we helped participated in your ribbon cutting, which was not that long ago, a couple of years, I think now, right?
Yeah, I believe the Greece branch actually opened in October of 2019.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's not even 2 years ago, is it? So,
not quite.
Yeah, my sense of time has really become distorted over this last year. Probably think a lot of people are experiencing all sorts of things differently. So, we were so delighted that you tell us a little bit about the fundraising effort that you are undertaking in support of the Chamber Charitable Foundation.
Sure, yeah. So we really were just looking for an opportunity to be able to get involved and give back to our community. Obviously during 2021, we weren't able to do as much with our community as we really wanted to. It was so hard to be able to get involved. So we came up with the idea of doing the Cannon Bottle Drive, and it just seemed like an appropriate way to be able to respect everyone and keep everyone safe and we can still socially distance, and, everyone's got cans and bottles.
Yep.
Even, if you can't give cash, that's something you might have a small bag lying around, and just a little bit can go a long way. So, yeah, we're just excited to be able to do that, and we partnered up with Can Kings in Fairport. They actually have a few different locations, so throughout the week, if people can't actually make it to our event on Saturday, they can actually go to any of those locations, drop them off, and let them know that they're donating to the Family First fundraiser, and all of the proceeds are going to go to the cause.
Terrific. We should probably explain, and maybe I can explain just a little bit more, that the Greece Chamber Charitable Foundation, which has been around for a number of years, many people may not even realize it exists, but it's a separate 501c3, a separate charitable foundation, separate from the Chamber, completely separate organization. But it was started by the Chamber, and we're probably the single biggest, donors to the foundation. And it is a place where, our hearts and our passion, converge on helping to really make positive change in the community in ways that are much more altruistic, obviously charitable than maybe some of the work that we do on the business side. But we've got a fantastic board president. The president of the foundation is Michael A. Mordenga of the Victor's Gymnastics. We've had him on the show before. And then a couple of years ago, it might even be 3 years ago now, Daniel E. Richardson, who was one of the founders of the foundation. He was a past chamber president. He was a past foundation president. I think he may have been the first foundation president. Very unexpectedly passed away. And obviously, he was somebody that was really beloved in the community and had been very generous in the community. And he ran Ladder Road Nursing Home, which was a mainstay in the town of Greece. And his wife is Carol Richardson, is the head of nursing at Ladder Road Nursing Home. And his mother was a nurse. And Carol joined our foundation board. And we started the Daniel E. Richardson Memorial Fund, and the focus evolved, but in some ways it almost just fell into place. We decided that we wanted to support nursing education, and we've made our first scholarships to 3 wonderful students at the Isabella Graham Hart School of Practical Nursing, which is actually part of Rochester Regional Health. Yet another thing I hadn't known a couple of years ago was that Rochester Regional Health has a nursing school, which is now expanding and going great guns under Rochester Regional Health's pretty formidable leadership at this point. So Family First Federal Credit Union has stepped up to the plate to try to support support us and support this effort and try to expand the funds that we have so that we can make more scholarship grants to more nursing students. And the thought was really that we always need nurses. My goodness, there's always a shortage, not just in the region, but in the country. But this is a moment in time when nurses are needed more than ever. Right, Sarah? I know that you had said something like that to me, before we went on air. So talk to us a little bit about how this fits with Family First. I mean, people may not know what Family First background is as well. Yeah, of course. So historically, what a lot of people might not know is that Family First was actually started by teachers in the Penfield Central School District. We've expanded since then, so it's not all just educators, but as a credit union that was, started by educators, it just feels appropriate, especially after the year that we've had, to be able to give back to our future healthcare workers. Absolutely. Yeah, that makes so much sense. It's a way to support the community as well as supporting nursing. And, one of the things that struck me because you guys came up with the specific bottle and can and bottle drive that you're leading off with. Is it on this coming Saturday, Sarah? Or? It is. It's this coming Saturday. The drop-off location is going to be the Penfield branch of Family First, and it's going to be from 10 to noon. So it's not a huge window, but we are trying to make it
as easy as possible for anyone that wants to participate. If they want to drop them off at other branches, especially in Greece, if they want to bring them to Greece, we can definitely accommodate that. We know that, it's a small window for the event. Yeah.
and it's an easy lift. Folks, if you've got empty cans and bottles in the house, it's a way to get them out of the house and support a great cause. And, just as an aside, it's of course recycling as well, right? Which is another good thing for the community. So it's a win all the way around. We're hoping that this is just the beginning. The foundation and the Daniel E. Richardson Memorial Fund are committed to continuing to make these scholarship grants and support more and more nursing students over time. And we're hopeful that wonderful and generous organizations like Family First Federal Credit Union, will continue with us as well. We so appreciate the support, Sarah, that you and your team and of course your CEO have made organization wide to the Greece Chamber Charitable Foundation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're so happy to be able to give back to our community in any way that we can. So I'm hoping that this is something that we can continue to do, and I definitely plan to keep giving back as best as I can. So, yeah, I'm hoping that this is something that we keep doing going forward.
Fantastic. So one more time, if people are interested in supporting the nursing education scholarships that we're jointly making, and they want to give cans and bottles, where do they go? When do they go? Just tell everybody once more.
Of course. So on Saturday, that's February 13th, all cans and bottles can be dropped off in bags to the Penfield Family First. It's 2520 Brown Cross Boulevard. We're going to be collecting cans there between 10 and noon. If you can't make it to the event, though, and you want to stop by any of our Family First locations and drop off your bottles and cans, we can be more than accommodating.
Fantastic. Sarah Reimer, Branding and PR Specialist, Family First Federal Credit Union. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Business Voice.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Sarah.
Absolutely. All right, don't go away. We're going to be right back with my last guest. You don't want to miss this. Don't flip that dial.
Right now, we are all faced with a challenge both personally and professionally. You might be displaced from your current employment and thinking about what you could do differently for a living in the changing economy. Either way, you can find yourself with a little more time on your hands to think about these things. That's where John Adams of FranNet can help. John is a local senior franchise consultant for FranNet. He can help you navigate the many local franchise opportunities that exist right here in upstate New York. Go to FranNet.com, that's FranNet.com with 2 N's, and take the free readiness assessment that helps determine the best franchise opportunities for you. The COVID-19 health crisis has created uncertainty in the economy, but many have predicted a roaring comeback when we get the medical aspect under control. Now is a great time to do your research and have John help you find a business opportunity that will help you prosper in the future. Call John Adams at 585-739-6625 or go to FranNet.com. That's FranNet.com with 2 N's.
The loss of a loved one can be an overwhelming time of hectic activity and high emotion. Remembering and celebrating the lives of those who have passed is important and fulfilling. A meaningful farewell, focusing on their life story, can help with healing. Some families turn to the clergy at their church to capture the essence of a person's life. However, those who may not be connected with the church may worry there is no one to fulfill this important role. At Bartolomeo and Perotto, we believe that a life remembered lives on. One of our trained funeral celebrants can help you thoughtfully design and organize your loved one's treasured memories and ensure that the story of their life is not forgotten. Discover how you can create a meaningful farewell. Visit Bartolomeo.com or call us today at 585-720-6000.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
Safeguarding your freedoms and your future. The WYSL stations.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host, and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. And it's now my great pleasure to welcome my next guest, Chad Zambito of 13 WHAM ABC TV. And that's just the beginning of the titles, right, Chad? Welcome, Chad.
It is. When our receptionist answers the phone, it's 13 WHAM, Fox Rochester, and the CW. So it's a mouthful, but with our three stations, we're hitting about 50% of the market on a regular basis. So that's something quite impressive, yeah.
That certainly is. 50% of the market. Oh, my gosh. Wow. So, and is the market, you're talking about the broadcast market in general for the region or the television broadcast market?
Yeah, it's the Rochester DMA. I think it's the designated metropolitan area, which is kind of an FCC terminology. So everybody has to be kind of assigned to a metropolitan just for information and news and things like that. So that's that area, which is 5 counties in the Rochester area.
That is quite impressive. You know, I don't think you ever told me that before. I knew you had a chunk of the market, but I didn't know it was quite that big. My gosh. So, Chad, tell us about what you do there, and then we can talk a little bit more about what, this behemoth that is 13 WHAM ABC TV, but so much more, what it entails and how people can work with you. Talk to us about your role.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a marketing consultant, and that's, the new fancy term for a salesperson, and I think that really kind of encompasses everything that media has to offer. If you talk to any media outlet, locally, whether it's radio or TV, they all have a digital component as well, as do we. So, I work with local businesses that, are anywhere from small mom and pop shops up to some of the heavy hitters you see on the air every day. And I enjoy it. I enjoy working with businesses to help them kind of get their message out. And it gives me kind of a unique perspective. I mean, especially in this time of COVID, to see, what's moving and what's not, and how the market's kind of going. I always say it's good for businesses when we at 13 WHAM are busy, especially the salespeople. That's a good sign. It means people are confident, they're buying advertising, they're doing well and want to do a little better. So that's always a good sign when we get busy. And actually, we've been off to a pretty good start. Obviously, last year was challenging in a number of ways for almost everybody, including us. But, it seems like we're kind of turning the corner and things are loosening up, so that's always a plus. Yeah,
so you're a leading indicator, I think they would call you, and it's interesting you say that because we're experiencing a very similar kind of an uptick. There's clearly an optimism that that is starting to make its make itself felt in people's perspectives, which is a very, very positive thing for business. So you help people get their message out. So do you help them with advertising, with getting their advertising messages out specifically, and how can they work with you? How do they work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say, the TV station, it's kind of like a restaurant. It's front of house, back of house. Everyone knows the front of the house people, Don Alhart and Jenny Ryan and Doug Gamblage and the people that put our news out and our product and are kind of the face of our station. But obviously we have people that sell commercials as well. So that's what I do. I work with businesses that want the exposure, that want the advertising, that want to be seen on TV and take advantage of our substantial audience. So I work with them from everything from inception, to, hey, what does TV cost? And I always love that question because it's, how much does a TV commercial cost? Well, if you want to be in the Super Bowl like we had this past weekend, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money. If you want to be in our local news or, I've got commercials that, are actually $5 and $10 spots, all the way up to, $1,000 spots, multi-$1,000 spots are in some of the high-profile things, like the Super Bowl and like the Academy Awards and NASCAR and things like that. So it's really, I have a kind of a a package for everybody. We can have any kind of budget really to work with. And we start with, let's get a budget together. Tell me about your audience. You know, if you're in business and you don't know exactly who your audience is, think about that and make sure you're sending the right message to the right people, because I don't want to see anybody waste their money on advertising. It's, you know, dollars are hard to come by. We want to stretch them as far as we can. So we get kind of a schedule and a budget together. I'll bring our producer in who will talk about your commercial and your message and what you want to say and how you want to say it. We'll send you a script. You'll take a look at that. If you approve that, we'll film it. You'll get a look at it when it's done. We can tweak it, and then we get on the air. So, you know, if you do that whole process and we're making a commercial, it's probably about a 2-week process. But, you know, it's one that people like me help you along the way, especially those who haven't done it before. It can be kind of overwhelming, and I think a lot of people think, you know, if you want to be on TV, it costs thousands of dollars. And it can, but there are packages and things that we can do that can help everybody.
So that's a great message. One is that things might be more affordable. There might be some more affordable options within this kind of scary, somewhat intimidating, potentially expensive universe called television, but that there might be some less expensive options. Not everything is going to cost a fortune, and people should not be scared to pick up the phone and contact you. And then the other is that you really help them every step of the way in putting together a professional product. Because the other thing that might be in someone's mind is, I don't know how to put together a television ad. I don't know how to go about doing this. This is not my expertise. But you will help them, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want advertising to work for our clients because, let's face it, you know, if it works for the clients, they're with us a lot longer through good times and bad times like we're coming out of now. And it's Rochester, New York. If I'm going to go out and just pick new businesses off and sell to them every week and sell them a bag of goods and move on, it won't be long before I'm out of people to sell to, and word gets around that I'm selling something that isn't quite up front. So I think that's true of most people in this market. And I don't care what the advertising medium is. As a business, you need to advertise. I started in radio. I still love radio to this day, you know, but make sure you're spending your money properly, that you're getting good value, that you keep an eye on it to some extent, or you have someone you trust. I mean, people are busy. I say, like, when I put a schedule together, it's not set it and forget it. If you call me and say, hey, actually, I'm more likely to call you and say, how's it working? And they say, well, you know, the last 3 people that walked in the door said they saw me on the new news. All right, let's move some more money to new news, and let's make it work for you. So, you know, that's kind of the partnership I think you want and people come to expect. It's not kind of, I'm going to sell this and move on. I think you want to work with somebody that is there to see your best interest. And I tell everybody, have your sales reps break it down to cost per thousand, and that will give you a better idea. We can talk about points in TV and Nielsen ratings, and in radio you can talk about Arbitron and how many people you're reaching. Doesn't mean so much. Take a look at how much is it costing me per thousand, and digital always breaks it down that way. You know, with TV, I can probably, depending on your demographic, get into the $20, $25 cost per thousand pretty easily. When you look at digital, low-end digital is, 10 to 15 per thousand, all the way up to, if you're buying clicks and words and things like that, it could be up to, a couple $100. So just keep an eye on what you're doing. Give it a try. I say if you're going to do advertising, be ready to commit to it for 3 months because you need that consistency, and hold people their feet to the fire a little bit if you're not seeing the results you'd like.
Terrific. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. I'm Sarah Lentini, your host, and also the president and CEO of the Greece Regional Chamber, and I'm delighted to be here with Chad Zambito of 13 WHAM ABC TV, which is that and so much more. So talk to us a little bit about you've got not just 13 WHAM ABC TV, but you've also got Fox and the CW. Is that correct? Are those the sort of the 3 main arms?
Yep, those are our major networks. 13 WHAM, an ABC affiliate, has been the Rochester news leader for a number of years. Don Alhart is known by everybody in the community. The man's been on the air 50-plus years, which is amazing. And I mentioned Ginny Ryan and Doug Embledge, and all of our crew are very recognizable. So our news is probably the strength of our product, and along with ABC, we have some prime like Grey's Anatomy and shows you'd recognize like that. We've got American Idol back on again coming up soon. So those sort of things are those are the kind of things you recognize on ABC. Fox, to me, I kind of grew up as Fox was coming of age when The Simpsons came on, and I've seen them blossom and grow largely through sports. They have the NFL; they do very well with that. Some Major League Baseball, NASCAR Daytona 500 is coming up in a few weeks. That's something that Fox has done well with. And then I look at the CW, which in my mind is what Fox was 20 years ago or so. It's got some shows that are geared towards younger millennials. They don't watch as much TV as former generations, but they do watch TV. So we've got some superhero things and vampires and things like that appeal to the younger crowd. But again, we've got pretty much something for every viewer and every budget. So with our 3 networks,
right, each one of those stations,
really is a lot.
that's a great overview. Each one of those. Each one of those has a different market and maybe a different price point as well, which speaks to the kind of the affordability of the some of the options that you have. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much, because you guys are premium members, silver premium members of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We so appreciate it. And also, I just want to give a shout out. You mentioned Doug Embledge, and Doug Embledge is, of course, near and dear to our hearts, because Doug has been for all of the past 35 years that the Greece Regional Chamber has had an annual community awards event. Doug has been our master of ceremonies, and he is masterful. That really is a very good word for him. He does a wonderful job of functioning as MC, and he's super comfortable in front of a crowd, very funny, and we can't even dream of doing an event without him. So I just want to do a shout out to Doug. So you're offering this great set of services and ability to connect with a pretty powerful platform, it sounds like, in the broadcast universe. And how do people reach you? Chad Zambito, can't forget that name, by the way. Love that name. Chad Zambito. How do people reach you?
So, probably the best way is just, pick up the phone and give me a call. 321-2218 is my extension over in Henrietta at our offices. I'm on LinkedIn. CM Zambito at sbgtv.com is my email. And, of course, I'm a chamber member. So, Sarah, I'm sure if somebody didn't catch any of that, if they reach out to you, you'd be happy to put us in touch, because I know that's what chambers do. They put people together and make business happen. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And all you got to do is put Grease Chamber into any kind of a search engine, and we're going to come right up at greasechamber.org. We're happy to connect you. Chad Zambito, 13 WHAM, ABC TV. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Business Voice.
Thank you, sir.
That just about does it for us here today on Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by FranNet of Western and Central New York. You've been listening to a wonderful array of guests, all of them Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce members, and I hope you've gotten a sense of just the broad range and diversity of businesses in the membership, as well as efforts, including charitable efforts, that our business members are involved in and the Chamber's involved with as well. I want to thank all of our guests, but I want to give special thanks to John Adams of FranNet and of Western and Central New York, our presenting sponsor. And then I want to guide you to our website. Please do check us out on the web, greasechamber.org. There you will find a business directory, a member directory that can connect you to all of today's guests, in addition to many, many more, and you'll see our upcoming events, greasechamber.org. Until the next time, be well.
You've been listening to Business Voice. The Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce serves businesses, nonprofits, and individuals throughout the region, focusing on promoting economic and community development and serving as the voice for business. The Chamber offers networking, education, advocacy, community events, and business services. It serves as an important platform for business leaders and citizens to come together in support of common goals.